Historical crimes refer to unlawful acts committed in the past that have significantly impacted society and often garnered public attention due to their notorious nature. These acts have played a crucial role in shaping legal frameworks, cultural narratives, and collective memory. The significance of understanding historical crimes lies in the insights they provide into societal values, legal developments, and the human condition across different eras. By examining these crimes, we can better understand how societies have responded to deviance and how those responses have evolved over time. One prime example of a historical crime is the infamous Jack the Ripper case. Active in the late 19th century, this unidentified individual committed a series of gruesome murders in London's Whitechapel district. The case highlighted the limitations of forensic science at the time and spurred advances in criminal investigation methods. Another notable example is the trial of Lizzie Borden, accused of murdering her father and stepmother with an axe in 1892. Despite her acquittal, the case became a cultural touchstone, reflecting societal attitudes towards women and crime during that era. Opinions on historical crimes often emphasize the need to study these events to prevent repeating past mistakes. Scholars argue that by understanding the motives and circumstances surrounding these crimes, societies can develop more effective crime prevention strategies. However, some critics argue that the sensationalism surrounding notorious criminals can overshadow the victims' experiences and lead to a glamorization of crime. There are also challenges and controversies associated with the study of historical crimes. A primary challenge is the availability and reliability of historical records, which can be incomplete or biased. Additionally, cases like the aforementioned Jack the Ripper remain unsolved, leading to a multitude of theories and speculation, which can sometimes detract from the factual study of these crimes. Furthermore, there are alternative viewpoints that suggest focusing on notorious criminals may inadvertently glorify their actions, whereas the emphasis should perhaps be on societal reform and justice for victims. The study of historical crimes influences our understanding of other aspects of this main topic, such as criminology, forensic science, and legal history. By exploring the narratives of these notorious criminal acts, we can trace the evolution of legal systems and societal responses to crime. This understanding can inform contemporary debates on crime and punishment, ultimately contributing to a more nuanced view of justice and societal protection. The concept of the evolution of crime over the centuries refers to the transformation and adaptation of criminal activities in response to societal changes over time. Crime, as a societal construct, evolves alongside technological advancements, changes in legal systems, and shifts in cultural and social norms. This evolution is significant to our main topic, historical crimes, tales of notorious criminals from the past, because it provides a contextual backdrop that helps us understand the motivations, methods, and impacts of those involved in notorious crimes throughout history. One compelling example is the transition from highway robbery in the 18th century to modern cybercrime. Highwaymen, like the infamous Dick Turpin, terrorize travelers by exploiting the lack of effective policing in rural areas. With technological advancement, particularly the internet, crime has moved into the digital realm. Cybercriminals now exploit vulnerabilities in networks, committing acts such as identity theft and ransomware attacks, underlining a shift from physical to virtual crime scenes. Another example is the evolution of organized crime, epitomized by figures like Al Capone during the Prohibition era. The 1920s and 30s saw the rise of organized crime syndicates capitalizing on the illegal alcohol trade. Fast forward, these organizations have diversified into global drug trafficking, human trafficking, and other illicit enterprises, adapting to changes in law enforcement and market opportunities. This adaptability highlights the persistent nature of criminal enterprise and its ability to thrive despite legal restrictions. Opinions supporting the idea of crime's evolution argue that understanding historical contexts helps law enforcement and policymakers develop strategies to combat modern crime. Historical analysis reveals patterns and precedents that inform current practices, helping anticipate and mitigate future criminal trends. However, challenges arise from this perspective, as it may lead to overgeneralization, failing to account for unique contemporary variables such as rapidly evolving technology and globalized networks that influence current criminality. Controversies also emerge around the ethics of certain law enforcement responses and whether historical precedence justifies current measures that may infringe on civil liberties. Some argue that focusing on historical crimes diverts attention from addressing systemic issues that perpetuate crime, such as economic inequality and social injustices. Overall, the evolution of crime influences other aspects of the main topic by demonstrating how notorious criminals are not just products of their time, but also unintentional architects of future crime landscapes. By understanding this evolution, we gain insights into the persistent nature of crime and the enduring fight to curb it, adding depth and perspective to tales of notorious criminals from the past. Notorious criminal figures and their stories delves into the captivating lives and deeds of historical criminals whose actions have transcended their time, leaving indelible marks on history and popular culture. These figures are often defined by their infamous deeds, which include crimes like theft, murder, and fraud, and their stories are marked by elements of intrigue, cunning, and at times a distorted sense of justice or rebellion against the status quo. The significance of examining these notorious criminal figures lies in understanding the social, economic, and political contexts that shaped their actions, and how they, in turn, influenced society. These stories serve as cautionary tales, teaching valuable lessons about the nature of crime, the limitations of law enforcement, and the human psyche's darker sides. Two iconic examples are Al Capone and Jack the Ripper. Al Capone, the notorious American gangster, epitomized the Prohibition era's crime wave, with his lavish lifestyle funded by illegal alcohol trade. His story highlights the intersections of crime, politics, and media in the early 20th century. Conversely, Jack the Ripper, whose identity remains a mystery, terrorized London's Whitechapel district in the late 1800s. His gruesome crimes sparked widespread media frenzy and highlighted the era's socio-economic disparities and the limitations of contemporary forensic methods. Supporters of studying notorious criminals argue that these stories illuminate broader societal issues, such as poverty, inequality, and the often flawed justice system, offering insights into preventing similar crimes today. They provide a lens through which to examine human behavior and moral ambiguity, challenging us to consider why some individuals turn to crime and how society might address these root causes. However, this fascination with criminal figures can be problematic. It risks glamorizing their actions, inadvertently creating anti-heroes and overshadowing the victims' stories. There's also the moral dilemma of sensationalizing crime for entertainment, which can distort public perception and apathy towards real-world criminal issues. This exploration of notorious figures is intrinsically linked to the broader study of historical crimes, as it offers concrete examples of how individual actions can reflect and reshape societal norms and fears. These stories influence cultural narratives, legal reforms, and even literature and media, creating a complex tapestry of how history is remembered and interpreted. Understanding these figures helps delineate the thin line between public fascination and the sobering reality of crime, enriching the overall discourse on historical crimes. The heading Case Studies, Famous Crimes That Shaped History delves into specific criminal acts that have not only captured public imagination, but also influenced societal norms, laws, and global perceptions of justice and morality. This concept refers to the exploration of specific, high-profile criminal cases that have left a lasting impact, prompting changes in legal systems, public policies, and cultural attitudes. The significance of studying these historical crimes lies in their powerful ability to illuminate the intersection of crime with broader historical contexts, highlighting how individual actions can ripple through time to affect societal change. These case studies serve as cautionary tales, offering lessons in justice, ethics, and human behavior that remain relevant today. Take, for instance, the infamous case of Jack the Ripper, whose gruesome murders in 1888 London sparked widespread terror. This case drew attention to the flaws in police procedures and forensic techniques of the era, indirectly catalyzing advances in criminal investigation methods. Moreover, it opened discussions around societal issues like poverty, mental health, and the treatment of women, which were previously neglected. Another pivotal case is that of the Lindbergh baby kidnapping in 1932. This high-profile crime involving the son of aviator Charles Lindbergh led to significant legal changes in the United States, including the creation of the Federal Kidnapping Act, allowing federal authorities to pursue perpetrators across state lines. This demonstrated how a single crime could directly lead to legislative reform, reshaping law enforcement practices on a national scale. Opinions supporting the study of such crimes argue that understanding the context and outcomes of these historical events can provide critical insights into the evolution of legal and social frameworks. They reinforce the need for continual adaptation in law enforcement and judiciary practices to prevent and address crime effectively. However, the examination of notorious historical crimes is not without challenges and controversies. Some argue that the sensationalization of these cases can overshadow other equally important but less publicized issues within the criminal justice system. Additionally, there is a risk of romanticizing or mythologizing criminals, potentially glorifying their acts rather than focusing on victims and societal repercussions. These case studies connect to the broader topic of historical crimes by illustrating the deep-rooted effects such acts can have on societal evolution. They influence how societies define crime and justice, serving as critical reflections that shape contemporary and future responses to criminal behavior, thus maintaining a significant role in understanding the broader landscape of notorious criminality from the past.